Good morning, everybody. Still have one other trustee coming, but we do have a quorum, and we have a lot of visitors today. We're going to celebrate SUNY Erie's athletic prowess today and their success they've had. But before we do that, I would like to ask the secretary to please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. John Elmore. Excuse. Todd Hobler.
Here.
Lynn Lenahan.
Here.
I am here. Jeffrey Stone.
Here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Susan Swartz.
Here.
Denise Wilson.
Here.
Here.
Oh, there's you.
Oh,
TK Adebayo for his
Here.
last board meeting.
There we go.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we introduce our new trustee and talk about TK, and this is his last meeting, we are very happy this morning to celebrate SUNY Erie's huge success in athletics over the winter. So before we move on with our agenda, we're going to ask Allie to bring in our champion athletes, and we're going to pay some homage to them this morning. Congratulations. So I'm going to stand here because we got such a big group here. And President Coy and I are going to present some awards to the athletes. But first, and I've got a little script here because we've got a lot of people here and a lot of different sports we're going to talk about. But first, welcome to the SUNY Erie Board of Trustees. And we just wanted to spend some time this morning recognizing, the achievements you've had over the last season and to give you due recognition. So I'd like to take this time to introduce 3 SUNY Erie athletic teams of note today to the Board of Trustees. We have representatives from the women's and men's swimming and diving teams who've had a lot to brag about this last semester. Overall, our women's swimming and diving teams took home the top non-scholarship spot this year at Nationals for the first time for SUNY Erie. First, congratulations to coaches Phil Schneider, Mike McDowell, and Kristen Klein.
Yeah.
The board also recognized the star athletes of the teams. So when please wave when I call out your name if you're here. Alex Clifford, Caitlin Shalinsky, Stephanie Zumda from the women's swimming and diving team. Abigail Ettinger set school records in the 50-yard backstroke and 100-yard individual medley at the NJCAA National Championships. Haley Robley won the Region 3 1-meter and 3-meter diving events and took third in both events. She was also named the non-scholarship athlete of the meet as the top individual point winner. Congratulations. Okay, now moving over to the men's swimming and diving, we have our sole representative, Jonathan Pilot, who set 4 school records at the NJCAA Swimming and Diving Championships. He set records in the 50-yard freestyle, 100 freestyle, 50 backstroke, and 100 backstroke. Congratulations to you again, Jonathan. Great job. So Dan will come up. We'll present our awards, and then we'll get to the basketball team.
Well, while we're on swimming, I'd like to recognize Vince McCarthy, who runs the pool. We had the national championships for swimming and diving at the college this year, and the pool itself brings in $1.5 million in income to the region. And so thanks to Vince and then our IT staff for streaming the events nationally, it's been a big boon for the region. So let's give them a round of applause.
Yeah, we're going to get a picture. How about you on one end?
Stretch together.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Is that an empty chair?
I never made a team before, so it's nice to be.
Ready? We can do this. 1, 2, 3. We don't want our heads.
There's no place
Okay,
to
ready?
go.
One more time. All right, great.
All right, excellent.
Let's hear another hand for that.
Good job.
Great job.
Excellent.
Congratulations. This is so
Congrats,
well.
Seth.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We'll keep this space open.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, now we're going to move on to basketball. And we, again, incredible success. Allie McCarthy will bring in players and the coach. There's going to be they're having a reception for the teams out here while our meeting is going on.
That's awesome. You can go ahead and
Welcome.
Hey.
Well, welcome. We wanted to spend a few minutes this morning just acknowledging your incredible success, your coach, your success over 20 years representing us. So the next team we're honoring today is the SUNY Uri men's basketball team, who won the NJCAA Region 3 championship for the second consecutive year in 2019 and finished the year with a 27-6 record.
Woo!
Congratulations to head coach Alex Noir, coach Martin Motley, and coach Natasha Cummings-Price. As I said before, Coach Noir just completed his 20th season at Erie and has a, listen to this, 398 and 176 record.
Wow.
Oh
Better
my
than
God.
2 to 1 the nation
Whoa.
won.
I'd like to add that Coach Alex has been doing double duty also as the coach for the Nigerian national team. So we're very proud to have someone of international reputation working on behalf of the college. I want to also thank Natasha for filling in during important games during the year while Coach Alex was in West Africa. So let's give them another round.
And the coach was also named the 2019 Region 3 and District 2 Coach of the Year. So again, congratulations. We'd also like to recognize the star athletes of the men's basketball team. Please, I guess just wave as I call your name. Mohammed Dekaiti.
In class.
Okay.
Good
Jala Hazelwood.
In class.
Fred Foster.
In class.
Jonathan McDonald.
Class.
And Tavian Green.
They didn't see it.
Okay. Okay, now Casey Walker, is he here? Casey Walker won the
Class.
13 All-Region selection in the Region 3 Tournament Most Valuable Player. Kyle Harris was the third team All-Region selection. Michael Motley was the first team All-Region 3 and third team All-American selection. Shavana Niska and Amadou Fofana were second team All-Region selections. And Tavian Kemp won the All-Tournament team at Region 3 champions. Again, congratulations on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the President of our college, and our administration, just on a fantastic season and representing our community so well. We're so touched and happy for your success. So we got a little something for you we'd like to hand out. Look at Ellie's gonna.
So Len forgot to mention that under Coach Alex's leadership, not only did our men's team win back-to-back regional championships, but we came in 4th nationally, which is the farthest our college has ever gone. So we're very proud of that.
Thank you. Also, she's been hired to coach the national team for the female team of Cameroon.
today, it was just made official yesterday.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Was she still with us?
Yes,
We
I am
do it-
still with
we do
us.
it in summer just for experience and coaching nationally with all these coaches also help our developments as coaches. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, oh, wonderful.
Also helps us with recruiting international students.
Sure.
So, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for doing proud.
All right, let's start.
Here we go.
No heads.
Boom.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'll see you around.
Yeah, well, go out lunch again.
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before we begin, I just want to just talk a little bit about some of the transitions going on with the board. First and foremost, I want to welcome Jeff Stone, our new trustee, who Jeff is succeeding, as you know, Dennis Murphy, and Jeff and I have gotten together a couple times and talked since his appointment, and he knows that he's filling big shoes. Dennis Murphy, who we're going to be recognizing in the near future for his role here in the school, which was simply amazing. But Jeff is the man that can fill those shoes. I've known Jeff a long time. He just loves this community. He's of course a partner of Hassan Russ for many years. Been very active in the community, and particularly at the Irish Classical Theater, which is close to my heart. And so Jeff, we're just thrilled to have you here today.
Thanks, Lynn. Glad to be with everybody.
We also today's
Just on behalf
Sure.
of the college, as president, I'd like to welcome you to SUNY Erie. Jeff and I have had dinner, and we've already seen his acumen in finances. We had a budget meeting last week, and he was able to demonstrate his experience and expertise and knowledge of our college finances already. So we look forward to a very long and great, healthy working relationship with Jeff, and I'm sure we will benefit from his experiences and his network, as well as his immense skill set. So welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mike. And also, sadly, today's TK Adebayo's last meeting as our student trustee. Of course, we want to keep him as close to us as we can.
He'll always be in our heart.
And hope there'll be a graduation.
Yes.
And then his appointment will be, his successor will be coming along later on. But we're going to recognize TK a little bit later. But let me just say, speaking for all the board, and I'm sure the rest of the board feels the same, you've been a unique, we've been lucky to have great trustees, student trustees, but you brought such sensitivity and compassion and, frankly, effort and vision to your role here. And I think it's safe to say you're going to be missed, and we hope that we're going to see you a lot more. We hope we can stay connected. One of the things we're trying to do here at the school is keep our connections throughout. It doesn't you don't have to be on the board to participate, to be part of this. And thank you for your service.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
We also received today a letter of resignation from John Elmore. Now, John won't be officially leaving until May 23rd, the day after graduation. But John has, of course, served a full term and more. He's been a holdover, as Susan has, and had, has graciously continued to serve even after the appointments ran out. And but John will be leaving after graduation. He also has just had an incredible mark on this board, incredible contribution to the community, and we will certainly be recognizing John as well in the future. And of course, I don't know if anybody's heard, but Tim Callan, our finance chair, did step down and send a letter of resignation to Congress Executive Polling Cars on last Thursday. And Tim, as you know, has contributed greatly to our financial, structure. Given when he came on the board, he has worked hard to, really bring our finances into order, and has worked well with President McCoy to do that. And we're going to miss Tim, and we'll be recognizing him in the future as well. Okay? So, by the way, we usually start our meetings, Jeff, with just a moment of silence, just in recognition of our hopes for this community and, things we're concerned about. So, we've all seen this week about our past president, Jack Gwynn, and just the amazing fight he is carrying on with Parkinson's. And so I thought we'd just spend a moment this morning just recognizing his efforts and hoping nothing but the best for him. Thank you. TK, in that this is your last meeting, would you like to read the mission statement one more time?
Absolutely.
Jeff, we usually start our meetings with us. We read the mission statement of the school.
SUNY Erie Community College meets the needs of a diverse student body and contributes to regional economic vitality by providing high-quality, flexible, affordable, and accessible educational programs committed to student success. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll begin with the consent agenda. I think we're removing one item from the agenda. I think that's, Doug, you had one item on here, right?
Yes.
It's already been approved?
Right.
So we just want to remove it from the, I believe it is removing cancer care from Western New York, number 4 under the consent agreement, in that it's already been, it was placed there incorrectly. So we're going to have a motion to remove that from the agenda. Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. And now on the rest of the consent agenda, does anybody have any questions or comments before we move on that? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion made, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so now thank you. We will now move into the financial health report. Obviously, we've got the SUNY Erie budget on the agenda along with student fee allocations and so forth. Tim, of course, is not here, our chair, so Penny Howard, our Vice President of Financial Affairs, will entertain the discussion with Penny.
So you have in front of you, or you have somewhere in your packet, the draft budget that we sent to you a couple weeks ago with the changes that you guys requested when we went through the budget hearing. So tuition and fees are flat. We had a further conversation this past Monday, excuse me, where we went through, walked through, clarified some of the points in there, answered any remaining questions that you had. The only thing that we will be adding to the budget is sitting in front of you. Mr. Stone, in the meeting on Monday, asked for where we were in relation to the other SUNY community colleges with percentage of sponsor contributions of our total budget. So this sheet is sitting in front of you so you can see it. That will also be included in the budget book. As you can see right now, Erie is at 18, the county contributes 18% of our total budget. And the midline for the state of New York community colleges is 19%. So actually, if this request that we've got with the budget book that we'll be giving to the county to have an additional $1 million in MOE should bump us right to the midline. So this is just for you guys to be able to see that we are kind of on the lower end of the support piece. There's a significant number that are actually a little over the midline. And the threshold for SUNY State Ed is about 33%, 30 to 33%, supposedly sponsor contributions. State also is supposed to be at 33, neither one of them are hitting that for us anyway. So anyway, you can see perhaps the inverse of this when you look at our tuition rates that have been historically we've been high on that, but we are also low on the support that we get from the two entities that are supporting us other than our students. So it does kind of make sense the way things have rolled out. We are holding our tuition fees flat again one more year,
Right.
so that's what's in the budget. So it would be extremely helpful, particularly as we look at this continued declining enrollment issue with the high school students, and as we bring new people on board and start to turn around some of our programming, if we could get at least to the midline with sponsor support. So I would just ask if you guys, as you look at this budget, you consider approving it. that you also consider kind of helping us with that request from the county as well. So,
Penny, can I just ask you,
Certainly.
upon moving approval of the budget, do we have to separately approve the 3 resolutions that are in the packet?
yes, so you are approving one tuition and fees, saying this is
Right.
what we're going to do for tuition and fees. Then the next 2 are for us to move this forward to the county, for it to start through its process with the county executive and into the legislature.
Okay. So we have to obviously do those separately.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know what page these are on our agenda, but
Looks like page 80.
Yes,
And
we-
then within page 80, maybe page 81 or
Right.
84, something like that. So we scroll down,
okay, good.
yeah. Keep going, I'm sorry. Is the numbers on here?
Yeah, go to
The
page
numbers
80.
on here.
We gotta go
Should
back.
be
You
after
went
the
by.
letter, yeah.
I think they went by.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
So keep going. It's a long letter. So, all right, this is the summary, so keep going. Got one more. There we go. There's the beginning of your resolutions. So this is the resolution that says, this is the budget we're proposing to take
Right.
forward, and you guys are approving that we're going to take this forward to the county. So if you scroll down to the page where the
Right.
ask actually is, yes, it's on too.
Get the resolve.
So, a little more.
We're getting there.
There we go.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay, resolve upon approval by the SUNY Erie Board of Trustees, a copy of this resolution along with SUNY Erie's 2019-20 budget will be forwarded to the Erie County Legislature,
And
the
exactly.
Erie County Executive and the Erie County Legislature.
There are a bunch of resolves before that.
Yeah, and there's
Yes.
like 20 resolves before. Before we vote, any questions on the resolution? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So we have the,
Okay. Now we can scroll down to the
right, the next one.
So this is the total, you guys are approving the total operating budget in the amount of this, saying that this is what
Right.
we're going to work towards, and adhere to for 1920. So this is just saying that's what's gonna happen.
Okay, all those in favor, do I have a motion? Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, and then there should be one more.
Yeah, there's one more, yeah.
There we go, right here. So this is the tuition and fee schedule that you guys received that's in the packet. This is just saying that you approve the tuition and fees to be set that way for the 1920 year.
Okay. Any questions on that? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Motion made by trustee Hobler, seconded by trustee Wilson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We passed the 1920 SUNY Erie budget.
You may have forgotten the recognition of Michael behind you.
What's that?
You may have forgotten the recognition of Michael behind you.
Oh,
Oh,
Michael.
that's coming
Oh,
during
I'm
this
sorry.
report.
Michael Motley?
It's coming your report?
Yeah, it's coming during my report.
It's coming during.
It's coming during his report.
report.
Yeah, we want to get him to the next
Okay.
class.
Absolutely.
Oh,
We
It's
can,
good
we
right now.
we can do that.
We can recognize,
I can
okay.
wait.
Absolutely. I'll take
Yes.
time. Hello everyone. So if you remember a couple board meetings ago, I talked about sponsoring an essay contest for the entire college. We actually have the first place winner here, Michael Ferris from City Campus. You want to stand, Michael? The mission of the essay contest was to talk about how not all heroes wear capes. And Michael was voted on by a panel that I selected as our winner, and your essay was phenomenal. Michael, I have to say, as a classmate of yours, as someone who sees you in the hallways, you exemplify in my opinion, the perfect SUNY Erie student. You're hungry to learn, and you are kind to everyone that you meet. And I am proud to be someone who has met you. So thank you again, Michael.
I just want to say thank you. I'll be graduating in May, and this has been a really great experience. So keep doing what you're doing. At ECC, it's going really well, and I'm very proud to be graduating from here. So thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I'd like to also briefly recognize Trustee Susan Swartz. It was an essay contest that I sponsored last year with my own funds, and I was going to do the same this year. But Trustee Swartz came in as our surprise silent benefactor, so thank you, Susan, so much. Thank you, Susan.
Can we take a picture?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Photo?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have somebody with the camera who was here before.
Picture?
I don't know where she
Is that
is,
what
but
she
I
is?
can take this and I can always forward, or
Absolutely.
doesn't matter.
Bye.
Lynn, you getting it?
Thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome.
That's
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Parents.
Jeez, babies. I'm sorry.
All right.
Nice. One more.
You with the parents?
Thank you.
Oh, the parents, take
I'm
the
sorry.
parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry for the delay.
Do you want me to take one with your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
This is
the
just
best
board
word.
meeting.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
In case you walk out with the family.
Nice stuff.
In the meantime, would you like to discuss the other item on the,
Yeah, actually, there's a couple more things. So the executive summary for, the Student Activity Fee Allocations Committee recommendation, Nora's actually in Albany representing us at another meeting right now, otherwise
Okay.
she would be here doing this. So if you look at page 116, we go to 116? I don't even know where the computer is.
Yes.
Oh, hi, how are you doing over there? So this is, if you scroll down, you'll see the allocation right here. This is part of what, rearranging the budget, this is after we removed athletic fees.
Right.
So this is truly what they will be managing on behalf of the students. And this is what the students decided, and TK left me. This is what the students decided they wanted to do for the allocations based on the requests that they got. So we're just looking for you all to say that you're okay with that. Then they will let all the applicants know how we allocated the funding, and this is what we'll be moving forward with on the 1920 school year. So,
Awesome.
okay, good. Any questions on that? If not, we can, TK's out of the room, but we have a quorum here, we can vote on that.
yes, you'll just
Okay.
accept it.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion made, seconded by Trustee Wilson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Items approved.
And then the last couple items are just we finally have the final versions of our audit statements and our management letters and all of that. So you guys just need to, I'm guessing it's saying you need to approve them or accept them. So if you want to go to page 118. So I don't have anything on that one other than the.
Okay, any discussion on that item on the audit? If not, I entertain a motion to approve. Motion made by Trustee Hobler, seconded by Trustee Wilson.
You guys are
Oh,
ready today, man.
On the other side of the table.
We're gonna get to you, don't worry.
They're so.
Kate's got a lot of reports to get through.
The only thing then that we had talked a little bit about prior to this, I'm sorry, right before you do the
Right.
vote, is next year, we normally have them that come and talk to the Finance and Audit Committee. But we had talked about also bringing them forward to the board
Yep.
to have them talk to you. Is that something you want us to move forward with next year?
Yes,
Sure,
please.
absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item is approved. Okay, other motions are to be received and filed. We're now going to move to policy and governance. Governance, we've got some items on that agenda as well. Chair Kate Maziel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I direct your attention to page 215 of the bylaws that are proposed. They were included in the board packet last month, so we've had the
Bob, could you move? Put up that, there we go.
We've had the 1 month requirement for trustees' approval before we act on these. The major changes on page 218, moving from a quorum of 6. As we know, with the vacancies, we have changed this to say it's the presence of a majority of filled trustees position at any regular or special meeting of the board that shall constitute a quorum, because we have to be able to do business. On page 221, we've changed section C. The secretary, with the assistance of the assistant to the board of trustees, shall keep the minutes. That's Kelly, and that reflects the change in her job title. On page 223, the standing committees now reflect those that we've been discussing to update in conformance with recommendations from Middle States and our own decision-making in making sure that we have our fiduciary responsibilities covered policy, and that the committee structure reflects the board's intention to be a governing board. And then finally on page 225, under the President Relations, sections D, E, and F are new. And these refer to making sure that the members of the board understand what our responsibilities are when somebody comes to us with inquiries, and where we need to go and how we report them. If we are seeking data, the method by which we will request such data, and then in section F, the president being required to respond in writing within 10 business days of receipt of the trustee's written request for that data. Does anybody have any questions about?
Can I just point out to Jeff, for your knowledge, since it's your first meeting, 2 of the items, reducing the number of committees from 5 to 4, and then we're going to also be changing the number of meetings involved. We'll be doing that in the future, and also the communication on the change in the bylaws on communication between administration, trust people in the ECC community, with the board and with the president. And we've done those really to satisfy some concerns that Middle States has had. And so this puts in legalese what we feel they will look kindly upon our actions here.
I think it helps give everybody a sense of what the expectation is and the right structure. Now we are all clear on what the expectations are, and for clarity's sake, more than anything else, really, I think these changes do reflect the thinking of the board as a whole at this point.
Kate, I believe we have to take those individually, don't we?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think
we
we
can
can
move
take
this
the
package?
whole. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, there's been do we have a motion to approve the bylaw changes?
So moved.
So moved by Chairman Mazzello, second by Trustee Schwartz. That'd be fair. But again, thank you, Kate, for your work on this. There's been a lot of, it's taken some time to get to where we are today, but we think these are going to move us in the right direction. So motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, sir. Okay.
Second, we have a managerial policy for the board's acceptance on page 240 for the athletic participation policy. This just provides guidelines for student athletes, what the expectations are, the eligibility requirements. We are saying that we are going to comply with NJCAA eligibility standards, and we spell out what the requirements are for student athletes in terms of following our code of conduct for students as well as student athletes, and the rules of conduct established by the NJCAA. Does anybody have questions about this policy? And I would move its acceptance by the board.
Motion made, seconded by Trustee Schwartz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Accepted. Items are accepted.
Next is the advisory groups policy, again, a managerial policy for the board's acceptance. Just for Jeff's reference, a board policy has to be approved by the board. Managerial policies, we just accept them so that we are acknowledging that this is management's intent to carry out the policy that is established here. So this managerial policy just is helping to set the guidelines for the establishment and membership in advisory groups. And there are a whole number of different advisory groups and panels, and the appendix will be updated to reflect which, whether it's a group or a membership or a council, there are different things, but those will be included as amendment as those change. But this really is to just encourage different departments to reach out into the community, to have experts in the community advise them on policy and procedure and opportunities that exist. Does anybody have questions or would like to supplement my description? Okay. There are members of the committee here I thought might be interested in doing that. So if no one has any questions, I would move the acceptance of the advisory group's policy by the board.
Do I hear a second? Okay, motion been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Great.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the Advancement Committee. Again, another committee that Chair Mantello and Kate chairs. And we're going to be taking up the ECC Foundation Agreement. Yay, yay, yay.
Yes, so this operating agreement was really through the work of Chairman Lendahan, which helped lead this.
And many others, yeah.
ECC Foundation board members, Susan Swartz, Mark Glahn, who was here a little while ago, Tom Baker, Paula Mana, and of course Mike Pikevich and Dan Hakoy. I also would like to recognize Larry Rubin for your stewardship of this process. This agreement does meet the CAP recommendations that were made by the Blue Ribbon panel in response to the state controller's audit. And you know, it's just a memorandum of understanding for operating with the ECC Foundation, which is our valued partner in helping to ensure that we advance our mission and student success.
I'd just like to add to that the agreement, and Larry did diligence on this on the language. You know, we've changed the way we nominate people to the foundation. We think it's going to allow us to basically be more successful. We've increased the potential number of members to the foundation. Other foundations throughout the state are bigger and intend to be successful for that reason. And there's other, you know, more technical aspects we've made. Have I missed anything, Larry?
I think if I may, I think the big issue is that Kate had mentioned was the started off from the audit, and it was really the issue of accountability and goals and objectives being set in partnership between the foundation and the college, and that was a primary goal of it, which is a multi-part thing, of course, starting with a partnership with the nomination of the board itself is a great way to start.
Larry has done a great job. We appreciate your efforts very much. Also, Susan Swartz is the only member who's both a trustee and on the foundation. And Susan was very diligent in her leadership here, and it was very helpful. Also Kate mentioned, but I want to again mention the name Mark Gollan, the chairman of the foundation, and Tom Baker, another key member of the foundation. Both these gentlemen just worked very hard. They're volunteers. They give a lot of time to this institution, and I want to make sure, even though Mark was here, had to leave, go back to work, I want to make sure that they understand our appreciation. So if you could convey that, we would like to do that. So there's been, I believe, Kate, you made the motion, right?
Yes.
Was seconded. So it's before us. All those in favor of approving this agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved.
Thank you.
Larry,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And also thanks to President Hakoy, who has spent a lot of time, Mike Pikevich, who is the executive director over the foundation. It's spent a lot of time. You know, it took a while, but we got here, and we're off into a good, moving in the right direction.
I'd like to thank our chairman, Len Lanahan, for actually giving us the wherewithal, the vision for merging these boards. I think it will be very helpful in terms of our fundraising efforts to come. So thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on. Strategic planning and assessment. I don't think, of course, that's Dennis's committee, and we don't have a report for today, but we will certainly be taking that up. And by the way, Dennis has expressed an interest in remaining active in the strategic planning area, trying to find the right role to do that. But we really cannot thank him enough for his vision and looking at the long-term interests of the school. Just amazing. Okay, now we're going to move to student success and diversity. Chairs Schwartz and Wilson.
Before we move to that, just as far as the strategic planning and assessment, I think it's important to say that all the committees were in compliance with the CAP recommendations as of last month.
Terrific.
Dennis had us review all of our requirements, and our committees were all in compliance.
Right.
Yes,
Jeff,
the
again,
minutes need to reflect
I know you've been reading
that.
through a lot of our materials. The CAP is the corrective action plan we are taking in conjunction with the state over the audit they did, and so we're seeking to be in compliance with their dictates as we go along. And again, as Denise pointed out, this does so very well. Thanks, Denise.
Absolutely.
Okay, student success and diversity. We have some items for approval.
Doug, would you like to speak to those?
Sure.
Sir?
Good morning. In essence, we have 3 items. Advisory council appointments are our standard process of resumes and nominations to advisory boards for this, in this case, the Library Resource Center and the degree in paralegal. So these are new or reappointments. They're all people who are credentialed and working in the field.
Okay. Do either of the chairs have any comments about?
No. We
Okay,
had a great full meeting.
so we'll go along with, do we have a motion, Susan?
To approve the student success and diversity.
Yes.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Items are approved. Okay, diversity, I just went through, we've done that. Minutes of the last meeting. I guess we can just receive and file those.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll go to the part of the meeting where report of the chair. Just have a couple things before we move a resolution to honor Carol McCall. I attended a meeting on your behalf in Syracuse a couple weeks ago of the other chairs of the community colleges board of trustees, and I want to say that we just have some great partners in this business.
Absolutely.
I think we had 23 out of the 31 schools there, and other representatives, and this organization, the statewide group, is dedicated to helping the colleges communicate with both with SUNY and with our presidents and everyone who makes up what ultimately becomes the budget for the for SUNY during the course of the year. And there's a lot of complications to go on. Sometimes we are shielded from some of the ongoing. I think everybody feels the budget is passed in March. All this stuff happens in March, but it really doesn't. It really happens 6 months before that with all the different committees and all the different areas of the institution of SUNY and the community colleges that have to come together. So I just want to say that I really enjoyed representing you, but also, more importantly, meeting the other chairs. And I know, Denise, you've been interested in that group, and there's a big meeting coming up in the fall, and we'll be represented there as well. But I just want to say that it was something that I thought was important to attend, and it was fruitful. Other than that, okay, so Carol McCall is retiring after years as the head of SUNY, chair of the SUNY Board of Trustees. And, Jeff has a background similar to mine in the political process. Carol McCall is somebody who's had literally a 45, 50-year career in major leadership positions, from the state senate to chair of the New York City Board of Education. It just goes on. And then, of course, membership on the SUNY board, and then chair of the SUNY board. So basically, we put a resolution together just from SUNY Erie. I think we've got it here somewhere.
It's $3.99.
I just want to
Page
add
$3.99.
that Chairman McCall made the effort to come out when I first took the position of president to visit personally at SUNY Erie, and so his legacy, I think, will be lasting for New York State, and we appreciate all his efforts. So I'm glad we're going to honor him with this recognition.
So, without going line by line here, I think it's safe to say that he deserves our
Thanks for sure.
our acclamation, our support, and thank you for just a job so well done for this institution. So I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The item is approved. Denise, would you like to introduce your daughter?
No.
Who's helping you out today by delivering the coffee? And, she must want to go somewhere this weekend.
I thought I did that on a sneak. This is my daughter, Sydney Wilson.
Hi, Sydney.
Sydney is a fourth grader at Olmsted 64, and she'll be transferring schools next year. This is her spring break, and we don't have any plans, so she's hanging out with me. Oh, and I also didn't have a babysitter, so
Thank you
hanging
for
out
sharing
with
the
me.
day with us.
Welcome. Okay, we move along. Ad hoc reports. We have a marketing committee coming up this month. Thanks to Paula. Technology committee, curriculum, anything?
No report.
Okay. And talent management. Susan, any comments?
Tracy, anything?
I don't have a report.
Yeah, we had the phone conversation, but that was it. Yeah. And it was,
Okay. Okay, we'll
Thank
move
you.
on to the report of the president.
Okay. I'm gonna start with enrollment and retention. As I promised, I'll be providing enrollment and retention numbers whenever possible. So we are currently tracking enrollment for summer sessions 1 and 2. And right now our enrollment is on par with our numbers year to date. And strategically we're targeting 2 student populations to drive summer enrollment. One, those who have previously been in our prospect pool but did not enroll with us this past year. And secondly, students at 4-year private colleges. And along these lines, yesterday, Provost Scheich and Steve Smith and I met with the team from Bonaventure, President DiPuro, as well as their provost and enrollment management person. So there's many ways we can partner. They're looking for students that are in our region that may not be able to afford 4 years at Bonaventure, and so are very interested. In fact, if we had this in place, they would have had over a dozen students who have taken advantage of joint admissions. They would do 2 years with us and then articulate straight into Bonaventure. And just last week I visited Keuka College to begin looking at potential partnerships with them. We currently do not have any articulation agreements with that college, but I think that this partnership will benefit both our colleges. Advanced registration for the fall 2019 semester just begins next week, so obviously we don't have enrollment data to share at this point, and rumors that fall enrollment is lower than usual is not true. For one thing, there are no numbers for anyone to make that assertion, and we're happy to share. But we're happy to share point-in-time comparison for inquiries and applications at this point. So in terms of inquiries, we are currently up 23.2% from last year at this time. And our applications are up 4% over the same period. Right? So the admissions and marketing teams are looking at strategies to continue driving the conversion from inquiry to application and from application to enrollment. And this includes program-specific retargeting campaigns. And so special thanks to Paula Sandy and Steve Smith for their exceptional efforts here. I think these increases in inquiries and applications do not happen spontaneously. So let's give them a round of applause. So our upcoming fall 2019 recruitment activities include open houses, which are taking place on our 3 campuses next week. In addition to nearly 20 instant admission events, college fairs, and campus group tours over the next month. So this is our big season for recruitment. In terms of retention, in keeping with our new direction for students on academic probation, any student who has been placed on academic probation for the spring semester will be meeting with their counselor to create a success plan in Starfish prior to registering for the fall 19 semester. And so we really believe that this will help student success. Continuing with enrollment management, more than 320 students alumni, and community members attended our college services job and internship fairs last month. And enrollment management has worked with a consultant to conduct an employee survey in order to better understand peer beliefs surrounding our customer service offices. We expect to repeat this survey in the future, and it will help us with our enrollment efforts.
Quick question, Dan. Back to the recruitment. I know we had talked about some time ago that maybe not doing open houses and things of that nature because they weren't as effective, and I'm wondering where you guys land.
I don't remember that conversation.
Yeah, it happened in the student success committee meeting. I think it was. I don't remember directly, but I know we had conversation about that, so I won't say a specific name.
I'll turn it over to Paula, but open houses have been, I guess, our bread and butter in terms of giving access to students that might be interested in attending student hearing. But
I think the conversation was about where are we getting more bang for our buck in terms of recruitment. So I was just wondering.
So you're making a valid point that open houses, people do tend to fall off as far as attendance goes. So we are actually, I've been working with Phil Struble in admissions to actually talk about what those open houses need to look like moving forward, including, are we on the right days, the right times? Do we need to do more directed events? So for example, one of the projects that he and I are working on right now are targeted hospitality days for students who can come in during the day. So aimed at traditional age students, but actually bringing them in from the school districts during their school day, so they're actually taking the day away, but it's going to be part of our recruitment cycle for next year. We're doing the same thing with our health sciences right now. We're working on some targeted days for them as well. So the open houses, I still think, bring value in the fact that people do attend them. We just need to look at maybe the time and the days of the week that we're doing them on. But we are actually upping our game as far as the recruitment cycle goes and trying to do more targeted outreach. The way we have been doing with the marketing cycle, but doing the same thing on the recruitment end of things as well. And I can't say enough about the recruitment team and Phil Struble and the admissions team who are out on the road every day bringing these students to our doors. So.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
The first of several academic advisement workshops for faculty who are interested in advising new students at START orientation took place earlier this week. And this training is designed to improve consistency and the quality of academic advisement throughout all our programs. And we think this will be of great benefit to our students. From Academic Affairs, the North Campus Culinary Arts and Hospitality programs hosted the American Culinary Federation's A Taste of Culinary event on April the 5th. And I'm pleased to report that the culinary and baking team from City Campus won the Scholastic Division Award of Excellence, beating out all other educational institutions in attendance. So let's give them a round of applause. City Campus music instructor Pei Lun Vicky Chang's composition Raining Nights Flowers and Cloudy Sky were broadcast on Pipe Dreams FM 94.5 this past Sunday. And this broadcast is available online for those of you interested. And the annual Spring Arts Festival will be held next Wednesday, May 1st at North Campus. And so I invite all the board members to attend and visit if possible. From Student Services, the Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence has been awarded to 6 SUNY Erie students, and that's where Nora is today. And this award honors SUNY students who have best demonstrated their integration of academic excellence with other aspects of their lives. And so Chancellor Christina Johnson presented the awards at a ceremony in Albany just yesterday. So congratulations to our student awardees, which include Famo Abdullahi, Kyle Harris, Kevin Joseph, Michael Malama, Ahmad Rashid, and our own TK Adebayo.
Yes.
We also had 2 students receive the 2019 USA Today Phi Theta Kappa All New York Award. And for those of you who don't know, Phi Theta Kappa is a prestigious international honor society for students in 2-year colleges, that promotes academic excellence and provide leadership opportunities for its members. So congratulations to two of our students, Humanities and Social Science student Kelly Rivera and General Studies student Ahmad Rashad on their awards. So congratulations. From the Equity and Diversity Office, I, along with members of our senior executive staff, participated in a video project called The Day of Silence on April the 12th in support of students in the LGBTQ community who are victims of bullying and often suffer in silence. And so this video is available on YouTube if anyone is interested in watching it. Special thanks to Paula Sandy for her initiative here and in creating this important video. Thank you, Paul. In terms of professional development, last night I was in attendance at the graduation dinner for the Women's Leadership Institute. So we had two deans, Joanne Comer and Jamie Smith were graduates, as well as Katie Marshall. So congratulations to them.
All of whom are very active members of the policy committee.
Right. And since this is the last meeting for our student trustee, I just want to offer my personal thanks to TK for his dedication to our students. His commitment in terms of student service and our value for students first will be missed. So congratulations on this wonderful year with us, and thank you so much.
Okay. And that's a nice time to move over to the student trustee report. TK's final report to us.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I kind of want to use this time to kind of commonize my last year here on the board and taking a peek in a big glance at the institution as a whole from a student perspective. I think the word that I've come to settle on as far as our school is context. I think every student, staff member, faculty member, everything is contextualized. Everything is on a person-by-person basis. We are truly our community's college in every sense of the word, from East Aurora to Bailey and Delavan, genuinely. And I asked the board to always keep that at the forefront of your mind, that that's who we're serving is our students. A few points I want to touch on briefly is that moving forward, I would love to see more of a multicultural, diverse staff. I think that we do a great job of diversity. I think our numbers are above average for the amount of diversity we do have in the school. But I can say that I had 3 professors of color in 2 years here, and ironically, one of which taught Spanish, who was a Spanish woman, one who taught African American history, African American man, and one was an African American gentleman who was an adjunct professor who taught business. So to see more diversity, whether across the entire spectrum, would be greatly appreciated. We all know that the customer service initiative is paramount. And I want to openly say I challenge Dr. Stephen Smith to stay on it and make sure that the front-facing people in our institution are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and not caught in a rut of their job, and that our job is our community, and we are servants to our community. And we can't allow ourselves to get bogged down in the minutiae and the day-to-day business that stops students from wanting to come here. We all know that from a community college perspective, enrollment's declining, high school graduation is declining. So the power really is being put into the student/customers' hands. And we have to meet our customers where they are, our students where they are. And no longer can we just say, well, this is what we offer, take it or leave it. It's like, no, what do you want? What can we do to help you?
I want to thank TK for this initiative because as a result of which we will be installing kiosks this summer that will help us improve our customer service. So as soon as someone leaves, for instance, financial aid, they'd be able to register their experience on this kiosk. So thank you, TK, for doing that.
And Dr. Coy. I also want the concern to be, when it comes to, and I want to speak to you on this, always kind of keeping your vision and your goals as in-house as possible. I know sometimes we can kind of look outward and are fearful of optics from people who are judgmental of our institution, people who may feel they can comment on what goes on here. But ask the students directly what's your opinion on something. So it's okay if some naysayer says, well, what's going on with SUNY Erie? But our students are saying what's going on with SUNY Erie, and we really should be focusing on them. I want to take 2 more minutes. I'm going to take off my trustee hat for a second and put on my student government hat. Student government president, because I can't say the board member, I can say student government president. I want to challenge the foundation, Mike, to get on that and to wrap your arms around our students. Our students are going to be alumni who are going to give back to our institution, and we have to provide a place that they want to give back to. If we don't do that, the money won't come in, and the legacies can't be built. I want people, if they go off to Harvard, or they go off to UB, to say, well, I thought that's SUNY Erie. I don't hear that enough. And a lot of people do come to SUNY Erie who have been very successful. Mr. Dennis Murphy is one of the people who has said that. And I want our school to have a certain cachet to it. That takes time, that takes years, but we can get there.
TK, if I can jump in too, I just wanted to say thank you because you've presented us with some great ideas. We actually did our first student fundraising drive with TK's help, and also talking about how to better get the word out there about student scholarships. So thank you, and we appreciate your time and support.
Thank you. There's just comments, but I want to commend our ASC president and executive director of ASC. I love you so much, and you are a wonderful, wonderful human being. But I also want to challenge you in your office to get the best vendors possible, whether it be our bookstore for our students or our culinary services. I know numbers are declining, but I think it's because students are happy with what they're being provided. So I know economics of it can be kind of tough, but I always I want you to challenge yourself to push forward and to provide the best thing. Because we want students to want to be here physically, right? Some students travel an hour to get here, right? So let's say, hypothetically, you work 9 to 5, right? You must leave probably around 8 o'clock to get to your job at 9, but unfortunately our bookstore hours are from 8 to 3. So if you need to get books, so you need to pick up your books, that's just not an option for our students. We need to be more cognizant of our nighttime students. The most underserved students in our entire institution are students that take classes after 5. So when we're developing curriculum, when we're developing student services, we need options for them. Everything can't close at 3 o'clock. That can't continue. And I urge everyone who has power over that to do something about it, please. And then to kind of wrap up, I want to challenge the faculty to embrace change. I want to challenge, and as student government president, not as board member, I want to challenge all the unions to accept criticism as well as praise and want your job security and future to be based on classroom effectiveness and not just based on time served. I think that we want to push education as far as we can and to have the best pedagogy possible, and we can't just have someone parked here who may have just kind of, going through the motions just enough to retire in 40 years. So that's all I'm going to say, but thank you for your time. I want to thank the entire board. You guys have been fantastic. Like I said in my email, you never once made me feel like the student trustee, but as one of your peers. So thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
TK is just a small token of our appreciation. We want to just give you a little gift and throw it in there. To, again, thank you for your service. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think his summary of his time here is just a capstone of his presence on our board. TK, you have been amazing in ways that I have not seen from a student trustee as of yet. And you have definitely left your mark on SUNY Erie. And I can see how the initiatives you have pushed and things you have put into place will truly become a legacy at this college.
Thank you, Denise.
We'll continue to build on it.
Thank you.
TK, I just met you today, but I'm very
Hello,
grateful
stranger.
to have had one meeting with you, and I hope it's not the last time we interact.
Absolutely, thank you, sir.
Thanks again. And I hope you will come to graduation so we can.
Absolutely.
All
Graduating,
right.
right?
We'll move on to the College Senate. Colleen Quinn, President of the College Senate.
Colleen?
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome, Trustees Stone. So my name is Kelly Quinn. I'm the College Senate Chair, and which is our governance board for faculty and staff. So at our last College Senate meeting, I don't know if Dr. McCoy didn't mention it, but we put an application in through SUNY, and we were accepted into the second cohort for SUNY Guided Pathways. So myself and Dr. Nora Clark will be heading that up. And this is an opportunity. We've already had 2 or 3 meetings, and we're going to be working through the summer, and it's going to help us better serve our students and help them develop pathways that are going to get them through graduation without any missteps along the way. It's going to complement our academic roadmaps task force that is already doing some of the work through the College Senate. We've been developing pathways for our students, so we're going to take some of that work that we've already done and wrap it into our SUNY Guided Pathways project. So that's going to get underway this summer. Our academic integrity task force has been very busy. We had a very animated discussion for the academic freedom policy, so it's still being discussed, but the academic integrity task force does meet next week, and we've gotten a lot of feedback from faculty and students and staff regarding some of the points on it, and we've incorporated all of the comments, and we're bringing it to the group on Wednesday to move that forward for the May Senate meeting. We also are going to be working on the academic forgiveness policy with our academic standards committee, and that is with readmission for students that may have been dismissed, and also looking into the specifics of a Fresh Start program that will benefit our students as they come back. We're also working on an intellectual property policy that will eventually make its way through. So we got 3 big topics that we're going to be talking about next week, and hopefully 1 or 2 of them will move through the May meeting successfully at the College Senate, so that's what we're hoping for. We are also reviewing the green paper on general education, as well as the white paper on distance learning that have come out of the SUNY office, and we are sending any edits or recommendations or comments that we have through our general education committee and through the provost's office. So all the faculty and staff, their deadline is tomorrow to get us all these comments. So I've been getting floods of emails, and we're summarizing all of these things so that we can make sure that our voice is heard in SUNY. We are working on a summer institute. It's going to be 3 days this year. We keep adding a day. It used to be 1 day. Last year we did 2 days. We have 3 days. It's June 5th, 6th, and 7th. So Wednesday the 5th is going to be for the entire college community, and it's going to be professional development, leadership, and all sorts of different things. We're working with the diversity office to include that as well, some technologies, and customer service. The second day is going to be for faculty leadership and faculty professional development, and then the Friday will be our academic administration along with our academic faculty to continue the work that we're doing on that Thursday. So we're also seeking advice and comments from all of our faculty and staff to help us guide how we are going to set up those days. So we're really looking forward to that. It used to be in July, and we found that we weren't getting a lot of participation. July is hard. People are off. People's kids are off. So we're doing it the first week of June because my kids will be in school, so I can attend, and there's a lot of faculty and staff that are in the same situation as myself. So we're looking at having a lot of participation. We're also promoting the START orientation training. So there were 3 days this week, and then we're adding a couple more days later in May to train our faculty and staff to participate in the START orientation and advising our students, so that once they're coming through, they're getting that touch point with faculty right away to help them move forward with their path here at SUNY Erie. Our next Senate meeting is May 14th. I encourage all of you to feel free to attend, and at our usual spot at North Campus in B207. We start at 2:30. And we've had a lot of great conversation. We got rid of clicker votes, which has been a little controversial, but it's really promoted a lot of awesome discussion. So it's slowed down some of our processes, but there's been a lot of back and forth, and we really feel like we're not just rubber stamping things anymore. We're really getting good feedback and good conversations, and I think that's what's really important for our community here at SUNY Erie. And Trustee TK, thank you so much for all of your service and all of your feedback and all of your support of the College Senate, because I really truly appreciate everything that you've done for us.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you
Colleen.
so much.
Let me just second what Colleen said about the Senate in terms of it being a place, Jeff, if you get a chance sometime, and everybody's busy scheduled here. But what I like about the College Senate, I only get there like, a few times a year, but it's a place where the whole college comes together. You get faculty, leadership, administration, support staff, and it's a place where everybody there is looking out, for the best interest of the school and trying to work out problems on the ground. And you're great. And Colleen is just a wonderful leader of that group. I've known the people in the Faculty Federation and Administrative Union for many years. A lot of people, because of my background in county government, you were able to pull together a tough group of people. It's everybody's got their own feelings, and so just want to applaud the efforts you make. And if you ever get a chance to attend a meeting or others, it's a good place to be. Thanks.
I'm sure that's available, but if it could be circulated, the schedule of those meetings, appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay. Sue, I don't think you have a report. Anything you want to mention?
No, I'll have a quarterly financial, it still has to,
Jeff,
second quarter.
Auxiliary Services.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Second quarterly financial still has to go through Financial Health Subcommittee, so that will be for your information in June. But I do want to say thank you to TK. It's been a pleasure working with you, and thank you for your input, your ideas. We'll take them into consideration in helping improve our services to the student body.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Mike Kevich?
Yeah, just from the foundation, the audited financial statements are back. We'll have those for financial health this next meeting. And for everybody's knowledge, and just maybe as a reminder, tomorrow is our scholarship luncheon.
Right.
That's an opportunity to recognize our student scholars and our donors. That happens starting, registration starts at 11:30 in the North Campus cafeteria. I know many of you have RSVP'd. Mr. Chairman, if you can let me know if you're going to be there. Awesome. But it's a great day to celebrate not just our students, but those who contribute to their success. And it's a really great day, and we give out about $300,000 tomorrow. So if you can make it, please join us. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Any old business?
Can I just ask if there's any discussion on the culinary program working through the Northland project?
Yeah, well, we're in discussion with our two deans of our culinary programs, and we're also talking to Steve Tucker about it. We're currently going through discussions with Northland in terms of what we're going to be doing next year. So that lease doesn't come up until August. So we have a few more months to discuss what are possibilities there. They're hoping to have that restaurant filled to not only service the community, but especially their students, because there's not a restaurant or a food outlet nearby.
Right, I do think there's partnership opportunities there with the private business and with us, maybe a apprentice type of program or something. So if I can be of help in talking with Mayor Brown about how we might be able to strengthen a partnership there, I'd be happy to do that.
Oh, good, please do.
If there's not any old business, new business, Susan, I know you want to talk about onboard student trustee, trustee onboarding training.
There was just some talk that we have that, and it's posted on our private
there are some changes that we have to make, so I just wanted to let people know that I'm in the process of reviewing it, and then we'll run it through and make sure that we've covered all the RFA bases, and then we'll have it about, and hopefully we'll get you through all the cycles of the college and get you to learn more about what's going on with the college. It's a great experience, by the way, when it's happening. It really is.
I think
So
we
thank
all
you.
would have benefited from having this kind of, helpful understanding of what expectations are and operations and how things work here. So thank you to Susan and everybody for
Absolutely.
putting together this orientation packet.
Excellent.
And I
Really
think it'll
appreciate
be a
that.
great benefit to you.
Absolutely.
And that's also an issue that the State Board of Trustees, New York State Committee, college trustees are interested in is, trustee training, and
Oh, good.
it's, it's an important topic.
Yes, we are a good model.
Any other new business? Any other? Now, I got to remind you, we have a presentation at 11 from James Z. About our strategic plan and some of the work that they're doing to prepare us for future activities. So that'll be at 11 o'clock.
They're here.
Are they here now?
They'll be here in 4 minutes.
So maybe
Oh,
we
they're
don't have
coming
to
at
wait
1:30.
We can't
Yeah,
have to wait 35 minutes.
Oh, that's great. I was-
Let's start.
If you could give them like 15 minutes to
Great.
get all the tech set
Absolutely.
up, then,
We might have a break or something.
yeah.
That'll be fine. Okay.
We can start
So-
early, that'd be great.
If there's, so as we wait for them, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, and then we'll have them come in as learning opportunities. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll take a 10, 15-minute break?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were coming
Yeah.
earlier. Okay, that's great. That'll help everybody move along.
Sorry, Lynn.
A lot of goodies up here, Justin.